Welcome to Chatham-Kent Cougars football junior varsity action from the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex here behind CKSS. I'm Mike James, joined by Matt Weavering here next to me and Jeff Brooks on the camera. Getting set for a big tilt here at home for the Cougars as Hamilton kicks off to Chatham-Kent, and having to retreat to grab that one is Jonathan Cartier for the Cougars, returning it up to about the 20, then breaks through the middle of the line, and he's got some room on the outside. Now looking to outrun the coverage. Last man to beat, and just can't get past him, but a fantastic return by Cartier. Looks to be at about the 40-yard line for Hamilton. Great starting field position here for Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, you got to give credit to him on that return after turning what could have been a bad situation into a much better one. I mean, turning the ball around, you have to run backwards, then forwards. Your momentum's going against you to start, so way to block out there for him, too, to make that room for him in the middle of the field. And
I'm going to correct myself there. It looked like a 2 from a distance, but it was actually Patrick Wilcox in the return, number 8 there. So Wilcox with a fantastic return, as you mentioned, having to retreat to get that football, but some nice blocking up front, and he found a seam. So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. Lined up 2 in the backfield, 3 out wide. And that time they're going to hand it off. Looks like that's going to be 23 up the middle. Nakoma Scott with the carry and a nice pickup on 1st down.
Yeah, no surprise they handed off early to Nakoma Scott. He had 2 touchdowns, I think, last game, and just looking really strong on the ground for them so far.
Boy, that certainly makes it easy for your offensive coordinator when you pick up about 9 yards on 1st down. Leaves you lots of options for 2nd down play call. Again, Jonathan Cartier, quarterback for the Cougars. And they're going to just go right up the middle with this one, and a 1st down easily for Chatham-Kent. Nice blocking up front. Looked to be a pickup of about
on the run, quarterback keeper.
9 yards there with Cartier keeping that football.
Yeah, we said Scott had 2 touchdowns last game. Well, Cartier had 2 rushing touchdowns as well, so wouldn't be surprised to see a few more of those, especially on those short 2nd and short or 3rd and short.
So a fresh set of downs here for the Cougars from inside the Tigercats 20-yard line. The 2 running backs out to the right, and Cartier's going to keep it. It's a design play call, and he's got lots of room on the outside. Nice block on the outside, and he scampers in for the touchdown. Jonathan Cartier with about an 18-yard touchdown run. And a fantastic start here for Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, no kidding, just pounded him on the ground there after that first return. We just saw those great blocking up the middle of the field, another rush to the middle from Nakoma Scott to start things off with a 9-yard gain. And then, as you mentioned, the quarterback does it all for the rest of it by himself, just carrying it into the end zone.
Garrett Stonefish with a nice block downfield as well on that touchdown run. And you can't argue with that start. 3 plays and into the end zone after a fantastic kickoff return to get this game going.
Yeah, they're going into the wind to start, so, keep it on the ground, and that's what they did.
That's going to be Cameron Creechin looking to add the extra point here. Nice snap and hold. Oh, and it's blocked, but we do have a flag down.
It is blocked, however, there is a flag down.
Good penetration there from Hamilton. It was a nice snap and hold, but one of the Tigercats able to get through and get a mid on that football.
And they'll head back to the... Oh. Yeah, so they said Chatham, I believe it said Chatham only had 11 men on the field there. But they'll hopefully clarify it right now. It looks like both teams are going back to the benches, so I think this one's going to be called off.
Okay, so they pick up the flag. As you mentioned, only 11 on the field, but the block stands, so.
Well, that could be why as well, that they found some room there. The extra man was missing in the line.
That's right. Could be certainly a contributing factor. Well, despite the block there, a nice start here for the Cougars. Up 6-0 early on. Chatham-Kent coming into this game, the junior varsity squad, with a perfect 1-0 record after a big win last weekend to open the season. It's a 42-7 victory. Whereas Hamilton, a little bit surprisingly, comes in 0-2 and Their point differential is quite surprising. They've only got 14 points on the season in their 2 games, but have allowed 96 on defense. So Hamilton looking to turn things around here in their 3rd game of the season. Kickoff there from Cameron Creechin on the far side. The return man had some trouble with it early on, but then able to gobble up before being swallowed up by the Cougars coverage team. Nice coverage there from Chatham-Kent.
For the Tigercats on the return.
Yeah, that was, it looked like the ball almost bobbled a bit before I got kicked, but still made some good distance into there as we saw a similar sort of situation when the Cougars able to turn it around. But you mentioned the return man there for Hamilton sort of bobbled it first, and that allowed the Cougars to catch up to him and take him down.
Looked like first man in on that tackle was Dave Jansen's for the Cougars,
That was
25.
That was a big takedown too, that rocked him down to the ground.
So this will be the Ticats' first possession on offense. 12:46 and counting into this first quarter. Run to the outside.
Preston Harper on the handoff.
Good job on defense there by the Cougars. Minimal gain, pick up of about 2 yards.
Yeah, we saw the Cougars have some success on the ground early. Looks like Hamilton just got stymied there right at the line. Cougars doing a good job of wrapping up his ankles. You know, he wrapped those up. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the Cougars' run defense was very impressive last weekend in that big victory, 42-7, as I mentioned earlier. And really, their defensive line and their linebackers do a great job. 2nd and down, pass on 2nd down. Nice defense there from the Cougars. Evan Torres get there just as the ball gets to the receiver, knocks it down, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, Torres had his eyes on the quarterback. He was watching the whole way and almost stepped in there and swatted it away, but made enough contact so that the wide receiver didn't get his hands on that properly.
That pass was intended for number 88, Christian Belavacqua. That brings up a 3rd and long situation. Hamilton's lined up to punt this one away. Deep in their own territory, inside their own 20-yard line. The wind at the back of the Tigercats, so that will help the kick. Decent-looking kick there from Hamilton. Oh, rushing up to try and get his hands on it, and the official says he did touch it. That's a live football, and Hamilton has it. It's a big turnover there after Patrick Wilcox couldn't hold on to it on the fly and had to retreat, but had made contact with it. And the Tigercats able to recover it. That was number 9, Luca Marini, with the recovery.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Wilcox after a couple of really good returns, one earlier in this game as well, but just muffed that one. I think it's because the ball was coming over to his left there, and he had to move laterally in order to grab that ball. I think he was just out of position, didn't get as much underneath it as he would like.
So that brings up a 1st and 10. Hamilton really able to flip the field there with that turnover on the punt. 1st and 10. They're going to go to the ground and just absolutely swallowed up by the Cougars' defensive line.
Yeah, that was a wall there. He wasn't getting through anything. They just really closed all the gaps in there. We saw Chatham plowing through the middle before, but they're not making the same mistake on defense there. They're blocking him in.
Looks like that was number 15 with the carry, Tyler Martin, but just ran into an absolute wall on defense. That brings up 2nd and long. They're going to say he lost a yard on that carry, so 2nd and 11 here. They're going to go to the air, looking for that inseam, and that's a nice pass there on the slant inside. But the receiver just not able to pull it in, hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, there were a couple of Cougars coming at him. You have to wonder if he was thinking about the coverage coming in there and anticipating the hit instead of getting your hands secured on the football and then turn up the field.
Yeah, just the outside receiver running an inside slant. And that hit number 80, James Chidori, right in the midst, but unable to squeeze it. And that brings up a 3rd and 11, and Hamilton lining up to punt this one away again. Go indeed kick it, and that's a short kick. They're going to let it bounce. Oh, and the Cougars knock it down this time, but able to reel it in after getting his mitt on it was Patrick Wilcox. Again, and that one another dangerous one.
Yeah, it was. And Owen hit the ground first, and I think he just couldn't get the read off the bounce, but was able to knock it down and cover it up that time. That was another dangerous-looking play deep in their territory.
Good job there by Wilcox to be able to jump on it after knocking it down. Showing some good athleticism, almost like a goalie back there, getting that glove mitt out and then pouncing on the rebound.
Let's see how the Cougars can do now, pinned deep in their territory. They haven't been here yet in this game. They had great field position off that first kick return.
That's right. The Cougars up 6-0, 10:08 and counting to go here in the first quarter. And it sounds like the Cougars going to call a timeout here. Had a late substitution running onto the football field.
Timeout, Chatham-Kent Cougars.
So the Cougars electing to use a timeout.
Not much room for error back there when you're pinned so deep in your own territory. You don't want to make any mistakes that would give Hamilton even a bigger edge here. You've seen that. You can pin them down on defense so far, so you want to make sure your offense is lined up as well.
That's right. And you can see the water bottles coming out onto the field. Certainly worth mentioning the heat today. They were calling for a high of about 31, but with the Humidex, it was going to be closer to 38. So thank goodness there is a bit of a breeze here today, as we've mentioned throughout the broadcast. But boy, is it ever hot out there. So going to be important for these players to stay hydrated, well hydrated throughout this football game.
And you can even see some of the, the defensive linemen there just taking a knee just to rest up, get a chance every can, or take every chance you can to just get a few seconds of rest even.
This will be the Cougars' second offensive possession of this football game. 1st and 10, just inside their own 15-yard line. They're going to hand it off onto the ground, and nice big hole over that right side, and still on his feet, rumbling, number 24, Darian Bassick-Haddon. And that's a big carry for Bassick-Haddon, and a big first down. Gain of about, almost 20 yards.
Yeah, maybe they drew that up in the timeout. You never know. Maybe they saw something out there, but Bassick-Haddon, once they got organized, I tell you, he just blew right through the middle of the field again. And looks like there's some gaping holes there that the Cougars, I'm sure, will try to take advantage of.
Yeah, and Bassick-Haddon has some good size and took advantage for having some quickness, too, to go along with that size. Fresh set of downs here. Nice blocking again. Oh, my. Shoestring tackle. Or else that was going to be Garrett Stonefish, who might have been gone.
Yeah, no kidding. We saw the number 4 on there. Thought Bassick-Haddon might have gotten it again, but this time, yeah, it was Stonefish. And again, just a blocking up the field, making that room for him to find a seam and just tear it through the middle of the field. It's just past midfield now.
It was a nice move by Stonefish. When he took that handoff, he looked to go left. It was stuffed, but he bounced it back inside where the hole was and then back to the outside. And again, a shoestring tackle saved a really big gainer there. So 1st and 10 for the Cougars. They're going to hand it off this time inside again. Boy, are they really creating some room inside.
Bassick-Haddon with some hard running up the middle.
That time it was Darian Bassick-Haddon.
Yeah, it's the blocking again. I mean, he's got those first 5 or 6 steps, and that's when you get your speed. Once you get that speed and you hit a hole like he did there again, you just find that room and keep going and keep pushing through the secondary almost.
Gain of about 9 on that play.
Great job up front by those Cougar offensive linemen. Lots of space in there. They're going to call this about a second and looks to be less than 2 yards.
And if you can keep the ball on the ground like this and keep getting first downs, or at least close to it, makes it a lot easier on your quarterback too. Doesn't have to look down the field for some of those big throws.
No doubt about that. So they flank everybody out to the right side, and Cartier's going to keep it this time, and he's got lots of space and still going, breaking tackles. Finally dragged down, but a big gain on 2nd and less than 2. And this Cougars offense is just clicking on all cylinders right now with that ground game.
Yeah, there's moving the chains and then there's doing something like that. You just had to get 2 yards and you picked up a lot more than that on that run. Just found some room again going to the right side.
Well, certainly what you're able to do in this type of situation as well with that heat, if you're able to run the ball, you can just wear out that defensive line and just keep pounding them. With the success you're having here with the Cougars at this point, don't even need to put the ball in the air. 1st and 10, and better job this time by that Hamilton defense. with the carry that time, Darian Bassett-Cadden.
Yeah, keep pushing it up the middle. Eventually, it looks like Hamilton's starting to maybe figure things out a little bit. I have to wonder if eventually, if they keep stopping on the run there, they might look to the air. But if you keep that run game alive and keep that threat alive, they have to think and respect that as well.
2nd and about 6 here for the Cougars on the Hamilton 25-yard line. They're going to hand it to the up man. One man on the outside to beat, and they're able to get around the corner there. Looks like that was Bassett-Cadden. No, excuse me, that's 34, Garrett Stonefish. And they're going to say he's about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, he had to come really far towards us over here laterally, and that takes a lot out of you when you're running that sideways instead of pushing it up the field. But the coverage was there, just sort of pushing him back, and wasn't able to turn up the field quick enough to make it there for the first down.
2 point, bud. 2 point.
So 3rd and looks to be maybe a long one or a short 2. Won't be surprised to see the Cougars go for it here, and they are lining up to go for it. Might see that play again that we've seen work so well where the 2 running backs go out to the right. No, they fake the handoff inside, and then Cartier keeps it, and looks like he's got first down yardage, a pickup of about 4 yards there, and that's enough for a first down.
We mentioned Bassett-Cadden. I mean, the size that he's got back there, he can really act as almost a fullback type of blocker for the quarterback. And when you got those big bodies back there helping out the quarterback, they got that running threat. You can hand it off to them, or you can just run right behind them, and they'll clear away for you.
That's right. So good running there, and the Cougars get a fresh set of downs again. 1st and 10 now on Hamilton's 17-yard line. Chatham-Kent up 6-0. 5:09 and counting to play here in the first quarter. Junior varsity football action. Cartier takes the snap and he keeps it. That's a design, and he fumbles the football. Ball just pops right out of his hands, and Hamilton picks it up.
Yeah, it looked like he was 45. That's Brendan Gratton for Hamilton. Just grabbed that one, as you mentioned. Yeah, just unfortunate fumble there for the quarterback after he'd been so sure-handed for the first couple plays and keeping the ball a number of times. And now you're deep in the territory and you just got that first down. That's a really bad bounce again. Second one this game for the Cougars.
Yeah, Cartier it looked like it just slipped right out of his hands and just put it on the turf. Hamilton able to force their second turnover of this football game and stop this Cougars' second offensive drive. Hamilton now takes over the football on their own 20-yard line. They're going to go to the air on first down. Got a receiver open on the far side, and that is put on the turf. That ball right into the hands of James Chidori, but unable to squeeze it and pull it in.
Yeah, it looked like he had to take a couple steps back to try to catch that one too. The quarterback just didn't pin it right on him. I'm not sure. Could be a miscommunication between which route he was supposed to be running. Maybe he ran a little further than he was supposed to, or the quarterback just threw that one short. But in any case, wasn't quite on the mark, and that's why he dropped the ball.
That brings up a 2nd and 10 now for Hamilton. They're going to go to the air again. They're able to complete it this time. The receiver able to hold on that far side. Looked like that was number 14, Jacob Stone, with the reception.
Stopped by number 82, Zach Brown of the Cougars.
Third down and a couple there, though. Maybe third down and 2. Yeah, 3rd down and 2. So to see if Hamilton pushes this one or whether they... Looks like they will probably be going for it because I didn't see a change of personnel in the field.
Yep, looks like they're lining up to go for this one. Cougars coming with the blitz, and they're able to stop him in the backfield. Looked like that was Lucas Doyle, the linebacker, came through the middle on a blitz and able to make the tackle in the backfield. The Cougars going to take over the football.
Yeah, you wrapped him up quickly there. Just blitzed right through and read that play the whole way. There was not enough blocking up front for Hamilton. And Cougars with a big defensive play there again. Has been blocking the Hamilton team so far and able to find some good penetration there and take him down.
Cougars able to take over here on that 3rd down stop now, deep in Hamilton territory. They've got the ball on the 25-yard line to start this drive. Cartier takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, and that's Stonefish over the right side. He's got lots of room and still chugging and churning.
Garrett Stonefish on the
dragging
carry.
about 3 Hamilton tacklers along the way. Finally dragged down, but after a nice big gain there on first
Offensive line
down,
opens a big hole. Garrett
Garrett
manages to push
Stonefish.
his way all the way down to the Hamilton 7-yard line.
nice carry there, and that's a pickup of just under 20 yards.
Yeah, Cougars on that play able to take advantage of a Hamilton team that really just didn't look like they got set up for that play.
Cartier takes the snap, hands it off to Stonefish again. He tries that right side. Hamilton's defense stiffens up that time.
Garrett Stonefish on the carry.
That'll be second and very short. He just about got the ball to the end zone there, but just couldn't push it through. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe another quarterback keeper here, or even hand it off to Bassick Haddon or somebody just punch it right through.
Second and goal from the 2-yard line. They're going to mark this one. And so far on offense, it's been all Cougars with that running game. Cartier lined up in the shotgun. Looks like Stonefish next to him. He hands it off to Stonefish, and he bowls over the tackle. Excuse me. That was not Stonefish. It was Ethan Kupka with the carry and runs over the Hamilton defender for the score.
Yeah, just one of the first times we've seen him grab the ball today, but sure hands there and just bowled over him, as you mentioned. That defender was lined up square to tackle him and just ended up on his back instead.
Boy, oh boy. That was number 35 for Hamilton, Nathan Biggs. And he certainly took the brunt of that contact.
He almost drilled him right into the uprights there.
So an impressive 2-yard touchdown run there from Ethan Kupka. And the Cougars going to go for 2 here after they were failed to convert on that first touchdown. And that's straight into the end zone for Garrett Stonefish, able to convert the 2-point conversion, and the Cougars now up 14-0.
Yeah, so just wiping that missed field goal off the board really with that, making it 14-0 now. And as you mentioned, Stonefish just grabbed that little toss and was able to find some room over there. There was one defender to beat only really. Tried to go for his knees, but he just brushed him aside on his way in.
Well, it certainly is an impressive start here for the Cougars. Despite 2 turnovers already in this first quarter and still 2:14 to play in this first quarter, they've turned the ball over twice and they still lead 14-0.
Yeah, 2 big turnovers too. One was deep in their own territory, and then the other one giving Hamilton a good chance back there. And the other one was when they were in scoring position, really, and Hamilton able to recover that. But the Cougars able to turn things around, and as you mentioned, keep a big egg on the board for Hamilton and go up 14-0.
Now, there is a bit of a breeze, as we mentioned earlier, and the Cougars are kicking into it, looking to pin that ball up so it doesn't blow off of the tee. It's going to be Cameron Creechin getting set to kick it off, and it does blow off the tee, so they bring the holder up. Creechin going to look to put the boot to it here. It's a good kick there down the right side, hangs in the air with that wind. Nice job by the up man to make that catch cleanly. And that's decent field position for Hamilton. They'll start with the ball at their own 35-yard line.
As you mentioned, that ball just carried in the air. Once it hit that altitude, the wind just caught it and pushed it back even a little bit, I think. Good job by that receiver, as you mentioned, to grab that. But the first guy to contact him for the Cougars was able to knock him down. So you like to see that first contact take him down. Don't even have to wait for that second man to come in.
Hamilton back on offense, looking to get things going, if I'm not mistaken. Still looking for their first down of this football game. They were stopped on a 3rd and short on their last drive.
Well, things are looking good. I think you should keep doing what you're doing.
And they're going to pitch it out to the running back, and boy, great pursuit there from the Cougars defense. That was Tyler Martin with the carry, but absolutely nowhere to go. That swarming defense of the Cougars just able to contain him, and they're going to say maybe a gain of, boy, that looks to be maybe even less than a yard.
Yeah, I think you're right, less than almost a half a yard or so there. There were 4 Cougars, I think, just swarmed him there, just all piling on top of him, making sure he wasn't going anywhere. Tried to run to the outside, there was just no room.
Looked like that was the linebacker, Lucas Doyle, who was the first one to make contact, and the rest of the defense in there to rally and make that tackle. Second and long here for Hamilton. Nice throw and catch. It was bobbled initially, but able to pull it in was the receiver. He's going to be short of a first down, but a nice grab there by Jack Mazur to pull that football in.
Yeah, he pulled it in, as you mentioned, right before he got hit, too. It was bobbled, and I thought it might be knocked down or even intercepted, but he was able to pull that one in and hold on to it. And now they got a 3rd and short coming up.
Tackle was made by Quentin Emmerich. They're going to go for it on 3rd and short, 3rd and about 1.5, and they're going to try to run it up the middle. And oh, fantastic defense. He is swallowed up right in the hole. And again, that's number 30, Lucas Doyle.
Yeah, he spun him around with that tackle, too. He's coming in there with all the momentum, wrapped him around the waist, and just threw him right down.
Wow, I'm surprised they're going to bring this in for a measurement. Wow. I didn't even think this was going to be close, to be honest with you. And it is short.
It is short, yeah.
Chatham-Kent will take over on down.
Yeah, no, that was a bit of a fortunate spot based on what we were seeing up here, but I'll leave it to them down there, and ends up still being a turnover on downs for the Cougars.
Well, that's the second time that we've seen Lucas Doyle come up big on a 3rd and short with a tackle and get the football back to the Cougars offense. 17.6 seconds to go here in this first quarter as the clock starts to run again. So this likely to be our last play in the first quarter with the Cougars up 14-0. And have really controlled this football game to this point. Going to pitch it to the running back. Looks like that's Nakoma Scott with the carry, and boy, he's got lots of room to move.
Yeah, it's just 44, Cody McNamara, last man back. It was all up to him, and he was able to wrap him up and take him down. But as you mentioned, that speed from Nakoma Scott, wow, just blitzing through there, blazing a trail, and Hamilton's sort of fortunate to have that one guy back there to grab him to take him down.
But a 17-yard gain there on first down by Nakoma Scott. As you mentioned, Cody McNamara with a touchdown-saving tackle at the safety position, or else that was an easy 6 points for the Cougars. And right now, they're just running roughshod over this Hamilton defense.
And you mentioned wearing down the defense. Well, this offense for the Cougars has so many threats on the ground that they don't even have to wear themselves out. They got 3 or 4 guys they can hand the ball off to confidently, and we've seen them do that so far just in the first quarter alone.
And on top of that, the quarterback for the Cougars, Cartier, has also run the football effectively. So you throw him into the mix of players able to run the football, and the Cougars very dangerous. Now have the wind blowing at their back, 1st and 10 after they swap sides. Inside the 30-yard line of Hamilton. They're going to go to the air for the first time. Got a receiver open, and it hit him right in the hands. Cartier with a nice throw intended for Bennett Schaefer, and the defensive back got his hands up in the air, didn't make any contact with the football, but that might have been enough to throw off Schaefer and break up his concentration a little bit, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, I think you're right. That must have been what it was, because he was probably anticipating some contact there, maybe a tipped ball, but just landed right there. Just about. If he would have reached out a little more, maybe put a little stick him on those gloves, he could hold that one in.
The defender over there, Luke Camilleri, just able to get his hand up and throw off the receiver just enough, and it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 here for Chatham-Kent. Cartier's going to roll out to his right. He's going to put it in the air, and he's got a receiver wide open over there. Touchdown! Fantastic grab! Looks like that was Ethan Jordan with the snag. A diving catch. And a beautiful throw and catch there for the Cougars on the touchdown.
Well, as you mentioned, he had all kinds of room back there, but still had to make that grab. And he reached out there. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to keep his hands on that one, but he pulls it in and falls on his back instead smartly to keep the contact away from the ball on the ground. And wow, we've seen the Cougars do it on the ground, and now they throw it in the air, and another nice touchdown.
Fingertip snag from Jordan. And I really like that design on that play as well. Cartier rolls out to his right, and he has the option to keep it or put it in the air, depending on what he sees from the defense. And he saw Jordan running free in the end zone and put it where only his receiver could get it. And another touchdown, the third of the game now for the Cougars, looking at the extra point. It's a high snap. They're going to have to fall on this one, I think. Oh, still on his feet, though. They're going to look to throw it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Finally, Hamilton's defense able to get there and not able to convert on the extra point. Forced to swallow it was Cameron Creechin.
Yeah, Creechin looks like almost the only position he doesn't play is his quarterback on the sheet there. Signed up as linebacker, tight end, kicker, and punter. So he does it all and look down the field there trying to audition for that spot, but just couldn't find any room and smartly holds on to that one so that they don't get any turnover.
Gonna have to start calling Cameron Creechin the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, no kidding.
So with that convert attempt failing, Cougars now lead 20-0. Early on in the second quarter, 14:15 to play.
Here the coach from Hamilton keeps yelling out, "Where's the wind coming from?" Because even though it is hitting in that direction, you gotta make sure that your receiver is lined up properly. Because if it's coming to one side of the field or the other, that could make the difference here.
So Creechin will have the wind to his back here when he puts the boot to this football. Oh, and they're going to go with the directional kick, looking to pick it up. Oh, nice job by Hamilton, though, as the Cougars rallied to wait for it to go 10 yards. Good job by one of the Hamilton players. That was number 9, Luca Marini. Did a great job coming up and attacking that football just as it got to the 10-yard line. Or excuse me, just as it got to 10 yards and dove on it with about 2 or 3 Cougars waiting to grab that football.
Yeah, you could see a couple of Cougars waiting for that, as you mentioned. Had a tricky play because you want to grab that ball, but you have to let it go 10 yards first. And they did that, but the Hamilton didn't have to worry about that. They grabbed the ball whenever they wanted to, so he was able to charge through there and grab that as a couple of Cougars tried to recover it.
So a good job by Luca Marini for Hamilton to snag that football. 1st and 10 now for the Tigercats. Just over midfield at the Cougars' 54-yard line. They go with 3 receivers on the near side here. And that throw just outside of the intended receiver.
Harper's pass intended for number 82, Peyton
Just
Mumby.
hit the outside hand of Peyton Mumby.
Yeah, it's to the far shoulder. He reached back and tried to grab that one, but it was just too far behind him. If it was ahead of him, I think he would have been able to reach up forward and haul it in, but we saw lots of motion on there too. Some of the other receivers just heading out there to block him, but he wasn't able to haul it in and get any yardage there.
So Rexton Harper going to put this one in the air this time, going to that left side again, and just getting one hand on it was the intended receiver into double coverage there. That was James Chidori who was the intended receiver, but again, just able to get that one hand on the football and couldn't pull it in. And Hamilton looks like they're going to bring on their punting team, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, 2 similar plays there with the receiver just reaching out with that left hand, trying to grab it, but it's just a little bit too high and a little bit too far away from him, just out of position.
So the return man for the Cougars is going to be Patrick Wilcox. He's going to retreat, and of course, as we've mentioned, the wind here a factor. Certainly, it's going to be blowing into the face of the kicker, so Wilcox will have to adjust for that. There's the kick, and it's a short directional kick, and one of the up men for the Cougars able to grab it, and he's spun down.
Nothing Madeira from 81 on that punt.
We do have a flag on the play. It looked like that was number 21 for the Cougars, Sebastian Stubberfield, who pulled that punt in.
Yeah, it's tricky too, as you mentioned. Let's see what the referee says here. Yeah, so that'll be
no yards call against Hamilton.
as you mentioned, the ball not going far enough. The
No
wind
yards
really is a
called.
factor here
Contact
tonight.
against Hamilton. That'll move the ball 15 yards. The ball at the Hamilton 50-yard line. First down, Cougars.
That ball just on the Cougars side of midfield. First and 10 here. Kurtz here with the two running backs in there, and they're going to hand it off to the up man, who's got room on that far side and still running down the sidelines with just one man to beat. He cuts it back inside, and he stays on his feet and finally dragged down.
Number 44, Joshua
Just
Chauvin
before getting to the end zone, Joshua Chauvin, his first carry of this football game, and nearly takes it to the house. We'll see where they spot this one. Looks to be inside the 5. That was about a 50-yard run by Josh Chauvin, who was lined up as the up man in the backfield and just took it and ran and just had a ton of space on the outside.
Yeah, the outside danced along the sideline, putting on his show in front of the Hamilton sideline there, and was able to cut back in and avoid the safety there, and looked like one of the Hamilton players just tried to body check him down, but he spun off that too and almost was able to take it in.
So first and goal, they're going to hand it off to Chauvin and give him a chance to finish off this run, and he does. Josh Chauvin takes it into the house from 2 yards out. And this Cougars run game is just churning out yards. 2 plays, they go 56 yards for the score, and now lead 26-0.
Yeah, and you gotta like to see that at least on the first down there, right when it's right by the goal line. Give Chauvin a chance to get that touchdown that he just missed on the play before that.
Cougars going to look to tack on the extra point here. They're just going to go for the single after failing to convert last time on a high snap. This time, perfect snap. It's up, and it is good. Perfectly executed that time. And Chatham-Kent now leads this one 27-0. Still 11:42 to go here in this first half.
Yeah, just about the only thing they needed to improve on was that place kick off of after missing the first couple, and then just got that down now too. You have to wonder what the second half is going to look like. We still got 11:42 left in this quarter, and it's 27-0. The Cougars just rolling right over them.
Again, the junior varsity Cougars here hosting the Hamilton Tigercats. Hamilton came into this game 0-2, while the Cougars were 1-0. They won their season opener here last weekend, convincingly. And so far, I think you can see why. Their run attack, extremely strong, and their defense is just absolutely swarming. Still have not given up a first down to this Hamilton squad.
Yeah, strong and balanced. We mentioned it a couple times, but just the number of threats they have in that backfield, handed off to anybody, and that's credit, I think, to the blockers, too, making those lanes.
Nice kickoff there for the Cougars. And they're going to have to retreat. Hamilton is all the way into their own end zone. Cougars maybe looking to get a rouge here, but unable to do so. Hamilton just able to get it out, it looks like.
All the way into the Hamilton end zone. Number 34, Jesse King on the return.
Yeah, that's the 1 or 2 yard line down there. They really pinned it back deep, so they'll have a great chance now to see that defensive line come out here, and they've posted a couple of negative yards plays against Hamilton, so we'll have to see if they can push them back in their own end zone.
Boy, Hamilton, this is going to be tough sledding here. First and 10.
Hamilton will start at about their own 2 yard line.
Looks like they're on their own 2 yard line here. And really nothing going the way for Hamilton at this point. Despite already causing a couple of turnovers. They look to run it inside, and there's just nothing doing there. No space at all.
Yeah, they're able to push it back to the line at least to keep it out of their own end zone, but not much more than that there. Cougars, again, just taking them out right away.
Gain of 1 brings up second down 9.
Yeah, they're going to say it was a gain of 1. They're going to fake the handoff, go to the air, look to swing it outside, but that ball one hops to the receiver.
Number 22, Peyton
And now it brings up a 3rd and 10. Or excuse me, 3rd and 9. They did give them a yard on that first down run, so 3rd and 9 here.
Hamilton's now facing the 3rd down and
for Hamilton. And
3-yard line.
if you're the Hamilton coaching staff, you're likely thinking of taking a knee here and giving up the safety and flipping the field position as opposed to punting this one away. We'll see if they do elect to actually punt this one. And they do take the knee and give up the 2 points.
Yeah, well, with the wind against you as well, and we saw a couple of the short kick last time. Last time they tried to punt it away, it was they only made it about 10 yards or so, not even. And so I think that's the smart thing to do at this point. Yeah, you're down. You just got to try to find something to rally around. Give your defense a better chance than that.
Because it's really not going to do you much good punting from that position. You're already down 27-0. Give up the 2 points and kick the ball away. Give your defense a fighting chance.
That knee in the end zone.
So Hamilton, after conceding the safety, they're going to kick this one away. It's a line drive kick. So that's Wilcox who's going to pick it up and look for some room down that right side and drag down. Good coverage there from Hamilton. The Cougars are going to take over this football on their own 51-yard line.
Yeah, big 88 for Hamilton coming in there just on his back and taking him down. Not giving him much room at all. And you mentioned that line drive kick, just trying to keep it out of the wind and stop that from blowing it back at all. And also, we saw the receiver, bobble a couple off the bounce too, so make him take that couple extra seconds to think about how he's going to grab it.
First and 10 now for this Cougars offense. Cartier's still in there at quarterback. And they're going to stay with the ground game. They're going to hand it off to big number 90. Nowhere to go there.
Dre Ronda, number 90 on the carry.
Dre Ronda. It's not often you see a number 90 take the handoff.
Yeah, might as well give it a shot, right? Just passing the ball around to everybody this game, and you got the points on the board to do it. Spread the love around today, especially on a hot day like this.
Yeah, certainly with a 29-0 lead, you can experiment with some players, maybe at some different positions, do some situational play calling for something maybe that you want to use later on in the season. So 2nd and long, Cartier's going to hand it off, and good hard running there from Bassick Haddon, pushing the pile. That brings up a 3rd and call it 4 yards.
Joshua Butler and Marcus Pellegrino combined on that stop.
That was a nice move by Bassick Haddon, as you mentioned, right at the line. He just was going to his right, did that little in cut to the middle, and then was able to pass by a defender there, just able to get one hand on him and push through further and see if the punting team comes out here, whether they're going to go for it on 3rd down.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Jordan, hello?
3rd down, and looks like the Cougars are going to line up to punt this one away. The wind at their back,
Second time he's called me.
and we've got a timeout being called by Hamilton.
I think he's pocket dialing.
Yeah, that's the way the Hamilton team is looking at each other on the field. There must have been some sort of miscommunication with how things are lined up.
And a quick reminder that pizza and cold drinks are being
Bringing
served
some
from the
water out there
stand.
too, so making sure everybody gets the break they need, I guess. Haven't seen the Cougars punted away much this game so far. Just been pounding on the ground and able to make their way through the defense.
This is actually the first time the Cougars have had to line up to punt. The Cougars have either converted with touchdowns or turned the ball over. They had one fumble by Cartier, the quarterback, on a quarterback keeper. And then the other turnover was on a punt return.
Yeah, while we're talking about today, the 29-0 so far, we should mention too, over the weekend, Cougars having success elsewhere against Oakville as well. Pee-wee's winning 6-0, and the Bantams beating Oakville 47-19. So some strong play from the other Cougars teams as well.
Yeah, that Bantam victory coming earlier today, as you mentioned. So Cougars looking to keep this going, and they're going to fake the punt and a direct snap, and that's going to be plenty of a first down and more. And we've got a flag coming in at the end there, but direct snap to Ethan Kupka, and a flag coming in at the end.
Christian Belavacqua on the stop on the far
possibly
side.
on the tackle, because it was a late flag. Not sure. Doesn't look like there was a face mask there. Was it going to be an illegal block in the back? Oh, unnecessary roughness call against Chatham. It was after the first down was achieved by the Cougars, so they will get a fresh set of downs.
After
But
the first down run, Chatham-Kent is
did not see what
roughness penalty.
caused the flag to come out. Again, it was on the far side of the field.
Yeah, right in front of the bench over there too. You have to wonder sometimes that plays a factor, trying to show those guys up in a game where you're already up 29-0. Sometimes you just like to rub it in a little bit extra, and referees must have seen something there.
First and 10 for the Cougars offense from the Hamilton 50-yard line now. 8:19 to go here in this first half. They pitched it to the outside, and believe that's going to be, oh my, that's number 24, Bassett Haddon, and he's turning on the Jets, trying to outrun the Hamilton defense, and he does. Wow, big number 24. He's got size, but I think some surprising quickness as well, and the defense seeing that, and fantastic blocking up front. And then big number 24 just runs away from that Hamilton defense for the touchdown.
Yeah, once he got through that first coverage, he just blew right through everybody else. As you mentioned, there were 4 or 5 guys trying to chase him down, but that surprising speed, you said too. Yeah, once he has his legs underneath him, just blew past all those other defenders who were just left to watch him, and he goes untouched into the end zone.
Still trying to get used to seeing Darian Bassett Haddon in a number 24. Last season wore number 55 and was certainly one of the bigger backs in the league at that age group, but is now playing up at the junior varsity level. And that kick is good.
Attempt is good.
But Bassett Haddon showing he's just as effective in number 24 as he is in number 55 that he wore last year when he was so dominant. Now the Cougars up 36-0. 8:02 to play here in the first half.
Absolutely. You got to wonder if there's anything else they can do right in this game. Just been playing so well on offense and defense.
Looking to keep that shutout streak alive on they did allow a touchdown last weekend.
You mentioned that differential against this Hamilton team. That's just going to keep driving it up for them too.
Chatham-Kent's all set. Creechan's going to put the boot to it and let left side into the open space, and the return man finally able to pick it up. Looking for some room on that far side of the field, right in front of the Hamilton bench.
Cam Friesen with a run up and kick.
This time Hamilton's going to take over on their own 27-yard line approximately.
That was a nice kick. I mean, it didn't give him a whole lot of time to turn it up the field either. By the time that Hamilton player got to it and picked it up, there were a couple of Cougars already there. And I think that first kick last time when he pinned him really deep in their own zone, they had to give that respect to that kick to make sure that they wanted to cover that up and didn't have a bounce going too deep, so they had to pull back a little bit. And then by the time he got to the ball, it was just tackled.
We're short one.
Well, we've got a timeout called here by the Cougars.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be as simple as adding one more player onto the defense there. Saw it on the kickoff and on one of those field goal attempts earlier too. Just gotta get that 12th man out.
Actually, not a whole lot, just the D-line position.
And looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Pee Wee Cougars 6, North Halton no score, and that is a final.
The Bantams were 47-19. Yeah, it's done.
Okay,
No, they
first
played
and
soccer
10 here
for
for
1
Hamilton. They're going to go to the air. Oh, just a little bit high and outside for the intended receiver there on that throw from Rexton Harper, intended for Dante Medeiros.
It seems to be what we've been seeing out of that quarterback as well for Hamilton. Just either it's a little bit too high and too far, or it's a little bit short and hitting the ground. So if you can find that middle, just that happy medium there, maybe you can pin his wide receiver with a catch.
Oh, Phil.
And the wind, it is tough. The wind's really starting to pick up here as well, so you can certainly understand if that ball is being affected by the breeze. Nice throw there, but good coverage. Going through a sea of hands out there. Looked like it was into double coverage, that pass.
Yeah, Connor Wright, 17, was the guy I think who was sitting in front of it and almost got his hands to grab that. You can see a little bit of frustration. He was clapping his hands together after that play too. Really wishes he had that one.
Just couldn't pull it in was Connor Wright, as you mentioned, the defender there. So that brings up third down now. .6:58 and counting to go here in the second quarter. Cougars up 36-0. Hamilton kicks this one away. It's a short kick, high hop. Wilcox able to pick it up on that one bounce and then swallowed up by the coverage team of Hamilton.
Yeah, still a decent return though. It's a low kick. They're just trying to avoid that wind, I think, trying to get it low and drive it into the wind. But as you mentioned, another short kick, not even making it past midfield, so the Cougars will start with good position here again.
The official giving some direction there to the stick crew. First and 10 now for the Cougars. Chartier lined up in shotgun. They're going to put this one in the air, looking for the receiver on the outside. Hard to tell through all those bodies what the result was. They're going to say it was a completed pass.
Yeah, they'll give him about a yard and a bit.
They are calling it a complete pass for a couple of yards, screwing up second down and 8.
Looked like that pass was just out in front of him. He was forced to make an adjustment and pretty much dive for it. And that's why he was down after the catch. So Peyton Morrison with about a, like you mentioned, Matt, a 1 yard gain on that passing play. Brings up second and long here for the Cougars, who haven't had a lot of these. They're going to the air again, and they're going deep. He's got a man open, and it's pulled in down that far side, and in for the touchdown, Patrick Wilcox.
Yeah, wow, what a play. When you're looking at second and long there on in the enemy territory, you're not necessarily looking to go deep like that, but we've seen him just pinpoint precision when he goes for those deep balls. That quarterback, you can just pin it right on him, and Wilcox this time pulling it in and making his way into the end zone.
43-yard touchdown pass and catch. Cartier to Wilcox.
That's gonna not last.
I know he pinned it on him though. I mean, he had man to beat out there with the coverage, but nobody could take him down once he was deep in there, and Good vision from that quarterback.
They're going to line up for the extra point here. And it's up and it's good.
Cam's point after attempt is good.
Does it really?
Move it over.
So 43-0 now for the Cougars after that extra point. 5:28 to play here in the first half. And it falls into some open space there in front of the return man before it's finally scooped up by Hamilton. A little bit of room to roam there too. Nice return. Still chugging. Keeping those feet churning. Finally dragged down. Good effort there from the return man for Hamilton. Finally dragged down at their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, Jesse King for Hamilton, one of the bright spots for them this game. That was a great return, fighting off a number of contact there for a number of defenders who tried to take him down. And if they get him the ball more often, you might have to look out because he looks like he's slippery there when he has the ball in his hands.
First and 10, Hamilton. They go shotgun. They're going to hand it off to the up man. Looks like that's Jesse King this time, who just had that nice return and a nice pickup there on first down. That's, I think, probably the biggest gain we've seen from Hamilton so far in this football game.
That could be, I think you're right. Yeah, Jesse King. I mentioned one of the few bright spots for them so far. Well, I don't know why they haven't been handing the ball to him earlier. Maybe they didn't have that confidence, or maybe they're just trying to spread it around, but wouldn't be surprised to see him get the ball a number more times here.
They're going to hand it off to the up man and chop down, but not until after he gets the first down. And that time with the carry was number 24, Dylan Bernardo.
On the right on that stop.
So both those backs going out of the game here. You got to wonder if they're maybe going to look at airing this one out when they take those two out.
So Hamilton able to pick up the first down, their first down of this football game. 3:55 to go here in the first half. It's been all Cougars who lead this one 43-0. And they're going to hand it off to the up man again. This time not as much success. That's forming Cougars defense there to swallow them up. That time with the carry was Anthony Bodwin.
On the carry. On the right on the stop.
Let's go, bud. Keep it going now.
We're going to go with the rollout on pass on first down. Oh, just over the hands
Harper on the quarterback rollout.
of number 82, the intended receiver that time, Mason McDonald.
Yeah, it was a bullet too, so there's no chance for him really to get up in the air to try to grab that one. He had to react quickly to get his hands up even. Couldn't hold that one down.
So that brings up a third and about 7 here. Inside the 3-minute mark now. They're going to go to the air, looking over the middle and knocked down by Cameron Creechin.
Yeah, he was looking for Jesse King out there, and I think if he would have pinned it on him, he might have had some room to go. But as you mentioned, nice job by Cameron Creechin there to get his hand up and just knock that one down. Not necessarily making an interception, but batting it down on the third down is just as good at that point.
Hamilton with their best offensive drive of this football game, but the Cougars defense tightens up and forces the turnover on downs. First and 10 here. Cartier takes a snap, drops back to pass. He doesn't see anyone, so he tucks and runs after he gets some pressure. And nice pickup on first down after being forced to pull it down after looking for a receiver downfield. Didn't see anything he liked and had some pressure coming. Still picks up about 9 yards.
Yeah, he did a good job by him there. We'll have to see what this flag was. There was a flag just about right as the ball was snapped. So we'll see how that affects the play. But as you mentioned, yeah, his lineman gave him enough opportunity there to just take a second chance and run it out instead of throwing it down the field.
Oh, too many men on the field on Hamilton, so it's a 10-yard penalty and a first down here for Chatham-Kent.
10-yard penalty for too many men on the
Always
field.
feels like a good credit to your offense too when there's too many men on the field for the other team and you're still able to pull off a play like that and still able to pick up about 9 yards.
First and 10 here for the Cougars. Cartier going to the air. He had a man. Oh, and he's able to pull it in. A nice athletic grab there. And still on his feet, the receiver for the Cougars, number 33, Ethan Joseph, into the end zone.
Touchdown Cougars, number 33, Ethan Joseph on that one-handed catch from Jonathan Cartier.
Well,
Wow.
Another opportunity for the Cougars here when it looks like a broken play almost. We saw that on the first reception as well from the kick return when they were able to turn it around and push it up the field, but this time it ends up being a touchdown. Yeah, he bobbled that out of the air, was able to bat it down and then grab it still and turn up the field, and was able to move sideways too to avoid some defenders. But there's plenty of room in the field back there for him to make it all the way.
And nice athletic grab from Joseph because that ball was just a little too far out in front of him, but able to get a mid on it and knock it down to himself and pull it in. Then after that, it was all Joseph.
A good job by the quarterback too to pin it on a guy who's not going to have that coverage running in to take him down. He had enough time and room to turn it up the field.
Nice snap and hold, and it's up and beautifully executed.
Point after attempt is good.
So after that convert, 2:07 still to play in the second quarter. And Chatham-Kent is up 50-0.
Oh, they're going to have to recover that ball. You mentioned that kick was a good one. Well, after it went over to the track and it had enough on it still to bounce up and over the fence, so they're going to have to find another game ball here before we can resume this.
Yeah, they do have somebody back there to cover those kicks, but as we mentioned, the wind is blowing, and it blew far enough to go over the head of the volunteer who was at the back of the end zone to grab it and took a big hop off the track.
They got a lot of work to do, especially after you mentioned 0-2 to start the season and a lot of things to build on. We did see a couple of nice runs from them in this game, but that's about it.
They're going to put the boot to this one. Good high, deep kick there from Cameron Creechin. The Hamilton return man forced to retreat to grab it, then great coverage downfield.
Jesse King on the return of the Cam Creechin kickoff.
And that's where Hamilton will take this one over.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see kicks go that far very often, especially with this win, though. You mentioned a big factor here. That one going over top of the head of the return man who just got caught. I think the wind just carried that one a little further than he anticipated, and maybe pulling in a little bit after that last return he had when he had to run up to grab it off the ground. This time pulls in and goes right over top of him.
First and 10 for Hamilton. What about their 10-yard line? They're going to put this one in the air, throwing into the wind. Good coverage there, but oh, nice pass and catch down the field up to the 35-yard line. Well done into coverage there, but a perfectly thrown football into the wind.
We were talking about earlier, just the quarterback needed to find the right range. Well, he found it there and just found his man, number 32 there, Jake Mazur, was able to haul that one in right at the right where the safeties are, and they pinned him down.
Cougars come with a blitz up the middle that time, and boy, oh boy, nothing doing
Quick handoff, stops in the back.
for Hamilton
Flag on the far side.
on that run. Right into the blitz, the teeth of that Cougars defense.
Yeah, they lost a couple of yards on that one after a nice gain on that throw.
Coming with the blitz that time was Cameron Creechin. Looks like we have an offside call against the Cougars, and that results in a first down.
5-yard penalty does go against Chatham-Kent.
So they got that early jump on him, and maybe that's part of it there, was
Ticats
that
on a
penalty and the
first and 5 at their own
offsides call.
41.
First down.
They're going to roll out to pass, looking down the left side of the field. He's got one receiver there. Oh, off the fingertips of the defender. It hung up in the air. Quentin Emmerich able to get his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, that was a great coverage too, because that number 14 for Hamilton was going to be gone if he got that ball in his hands. And as you mentioned, was Emmerich just able to almost grab that one in for an interception.
Hand it off. They bring him in, a motion across, and it's going to be short of the first down. Ends up third and about 1.
You can see the Hamilton player trying to reach for that extra yard even after he got tackled, stretching his arm out, but the referee able to find the right spot.
I'm going to have to wait for the spot on this one.
Ticats in hurry up offense.
That might be short.
It looks like it's probably. I don't think they'll need to bring the chains up for this one.
Yeah,
Quick
that's
run
short.
wasn't good enough for a first
Great
down.
defense
Chatham-Kent
there
will
from
take
the
over
Cougars on the
down.
quarterback keeper. They stuff him right up the gut.
Yeah, it was a quick snap there too. They just really got the ball off quickly because they're trying to get a scoring play here as time winds down in this first half.
So 1:26 to go here in the first half. The last 3 minutes of this football game have really come to a grinding halt. Nonetheless, the Cougars lead this one 50-0. 1:26 to play here in the first half. Cartier hands it off. Looks like that's Nakoma Scott with the carry. Into a crowd, and pick up of about 5 on first
Nakoma
down.
Scott on the carry. Gain of 5 is going to bring up second down and 5 with the Hamilton 41.
Hamilton's starting to look a little better than they did at least at the beginning of the game. It was really all Cougars just running over them. Although Cougars also, when they air it out, have been finding a lot of success too deep. So passing that ball around to a number of different players. We've seen so many different players lining up back there and getting the handoff.
Cartier takes snap. They're going to pitch it outside. It's going to be Nakoma Scott again. Got a couple of nice seal blocks on the inside, and looks like he's got enough there for the first down. Pickup of about 6 on that run, and that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, by the time he really got that contact against him, he was already at the first down line and was able to fall forward as well for that extra yard.
Cougars have a first down at the Tigercats 34-yard line.
Good blocking on the inside there from Garrett Stonefish and the rest of that offensive line. They hand this up to big number 90 again, his second carry of the game.
Alex Sullo on the carry.
Alex Sullo.
You can hear the bench, the Cougars bench from over here too, all the way across the field. Whenever he gets the ball, they're excited. They want to see what he can do.
For Hamilton on the stop after gain of a couple. Brings up second down and 8.
Coaching staff for the Cougars yelling the play in here. 12 seconds and counting to go in this first half. Cougars in complete control here. And they're going to fake the handoff to the up man and then give it to the deep man. That's going to be Nakoma Scott. And he's dragged down. It was enough for a first down. Good carry, but that is going to be the end of the first half. Absolutely dominated by Chatham-Kent. They lead the Hamilton Tigercats junior varsity squad 50-0.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw the first couple touchdowns for the Cougars here, I think you knew it was going to be a dominant performance from them unless Hamilton turned things around, but I don't think I was expecting to see quite this level of domination at this point in the game, to see 50-0 at half, and everything just seems to be going right for the Cougars. A couple of missed field goals, and as you mentioned, a couple of turnovers in bad position, but the defense and the offense both have been able to turn things around since that point and responded really well to that.
Well, we'll be back shortly for second half action. Again, the junior varsity Chatham-Kent Cougars hosting the Hamilton Tigercats. Chatham-Kent leads 50-0. We'll see you back in just a moment. Here we go, back at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex for second half action. Junior varsity football, the Cougars kicking off to the Hamilton Tigercats. Gonna pick that one up about their own 15-yard line, and that's King with the return. Nice return there from number 34. We got a flag that came out at the end there as well. As you said earlier, Matt, Jesse King, one of the few bright spots that we've seen for this Hamilton squad.
Yeah, reluctant to give the ball up there too to the ref. You know, he's just one of those guys when he gets that ball in his hands, I think he wants to carry it himself, and just do another great job for them. They're one of the few bright spots for the team tonight, or this afternoon.
Oh, it's penalty against Hamilton, so that going to push them back 10 yards. Call it an illegal use of the hands.
Yard penalty does go against the Hamilton Tigercats.
Again, the Cougars lead this one 50-0. An absolutely dominant performance to this point. Pressure on the quarterback for Hamilton. Able to get the ball off is the quarterback, Rexton Harper, but it falls incomplete. The ball too far out in front of the intended receiver.
Yeah, Jack Mazur, number 32. And we mentioned that 34, Jesse King's one of the bright spots. Well, that Mazur, he had a nice catch in the first half as well on one of the few times that the quarterback was able to connect for one of those deep threats. So we'll have to watch out for 32 as well, see if the quarterback tries to target him again.
Brings up 2nd and 10 now after that incomplete pass. Put 3 receivers in motion on this near side, and that's where they complete that pass. It's going to be short of the first down, but pick up of about 8 or 9 yards there on that passing play.
Yeah, he missed Missouri last time. He didn't miss him this time. Just coming across from the outside of the field, cutting inside, grabbed the ball, and was able to pick up about 8 or 9 yards. So that'll be 3rd and short, and you got to think that Hamilton will give a long look at this one, try to make that extra yard up.
Certainly not much to lose in this lopsided football game. Harper in the shotgun. He takes it. He's going to look for a quick pass, and he has his man over on the right side, and that is going to be enough for a first down for Hamilton with the catch there, Dylan Weber.
Jacob Stone on that pass reception.
Yeah, Jacob Stone able to grab that one and haul it in. It looked like Mazur was over there as well. I'm not sure. He sort of slipped and looked like he was almost the intended target, but whether or not it was him, Hamilton was able to pick up that first down.
Yeah, going to have to get my eyes checked. That's number 14, not 11, is it? As you mentioned, Jacob Stone with the reception. Bit of a high snap there, but able to hand it off, and boy, taken down immediately right in the middle of that defense. Big tackle again, number 30, Lucas Doyle.
We've seen number 30 doing that all game so far for the Cougars, and we talked about how this offense has just been rolling over them. But Lucas Doyle, number 30 for the Cougars, has just been really finding that penetration and pushing them back for the loss again.
Great job by Doyle on the tackle in the hole there, and brings up a 2nd and long. They're going to roll out to the right, look for the pass, that far side. And good coverage over there for the Cougars. That pass falls well short of the intended receiver. And brings up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, the quarterback was rushed as well because number 51, Creecham, was just coming in there. And he was going to sack him if he didn't get the ball off quickly. So he had to throw it a little earlier than I think he would like to. But with Creecham bearing down on you, want to get the ball out of your hands.
Lined up to punt this one away. Good high kick. And caught on the run by Wilcox. He tries that left side but then retreats, and now cutting back across the field, and he's got a lot of room over there trying to use that speed to get down the sideline. And Wilcox with a fantastic return all the way down to about the 24-yard line of Hamilton, but there is a flag on the field.
And if you're the coach, you sometimes get a little nervous when your player starts going backwards. But we've seen from Wilcox before, he did that, had to run backwards in the first half. And on that first kick return, was able to turn it into something. Able to do that again here, just find some room. And he's mentioned he's got that speed and he's got that space on the outside, and he was able to push the ball up the field.
Looks like this one's coming back, though.
Yeah, it does look.
Yeah, legal use of the hands, pushing the block in the back. So that brings the football all the way back to the Cougars side of the football field inside their own 50-yard line.
Ball at about the Chatham-Kent 48-yard line.
First and 10. Cartier still in at quarterback. Going to put this one in the air. Oh. Looked like Patrick Wilcox somehow caught up with his defender there, and I don't even know if he was looking for the football.
No, I think it was a miscommunication there, because it looked like the only guy who was looking at him was Peyton Morrison, number 31 for the Cougars. Was looking back, and the pass was not intended for him at all. So I think maybe the other receiver that was out there with him was thinking he was supposed to block for him, and that it was going to him instead.
Yeah, it looked like that ball was just overthrown to, as you mentioned, Morrison, and Wilcox was just there as the blocker to try and spring his fellow receiver. So that brings up a 2nd and 10 now on that incomplete pass. They fake the handoff, and Cartier puts it in the air. Oh, and it's, wow, a fantastic grab there from number 19, Trent Namaro.
Trent Namaro, number 19, with that catch.
Well, we've seen some nice catches here today, but I think that one just about takes the cake. It wasn't for a touchdown like we saw earlier from Jordan taking one in, but that was a nice grab in coverage this time. That's why I think makes the difference. Jordan was wide open, but this catch here was in coverage still, and he was able to knock that one into his chest and hold on to it.
Yeah, Trent Namaro lays out for that one with the defender draped on him and able to pull it in. As you mentioned, an impressive grab there, and enough and plenty more for a first down. So 1st and 10 now. Cartier rolls out to his left. He's still going to put it in the air, and that's Patrick Wilcox who's got the reception on that far side. Dragged down on the sidelines over there, but that's going to move the sticks again. This Cougars offense just continues to roll.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know, when he had that speed earlier in the game and he was holding on to the ball, that really paved the way for a play like that when the defenders started rushing in on him, thinking he's going to run with it himself. But even a little short pass there is able to make it quite a decent gain.
Ball is at the 5-yard line of the Tigercats. 1st and goal, Cougars.
That brings up 1st and goal. It is going to be a running clock here in the second half. We're informed by the timekeeper, so your only stoppages are going to be for scores and injuries and timeouts. Cartier lined up in the shotgun again. He's rolling out to his left there, along with Nakoma Scott, who is lined up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty against the Cougars. That's going to move them back.
Five-yard penalty call does go against Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, it looked like just some motion before the snap there, and I think that's what happened. They just jumped the line a little bit, and so referee motioned at first that it would be second down, but of course it was still first down, so it'd be a 5-yard penalty and first down.
So first and goal here for the Cougars from the 10-yard line. Still got Nakoma Scott in the backfield, and that's who he pitches it to on the outside. Scott looking to get outside, then cuts it back inside. Nice read by Nakoma Scott. Good block out in front as well by the receiver, Trenton Amaro, who set that play up. And Nakoma Scott into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Cougars.
Yeah, Trenton Amaro really paved the way for that one. As you mentioned, that block, just able to tie up his defender there enough so that he could make that cut inside and go find the end zone.
So the Cougars add to their already giant lead. Now up 56-0. Going to look to add to that here with the extra point convert. Cam Creechin back to try and boot it through. Good snap, holds down, and that one's good.
Point after attempt is good.
And even more importantly, this ball did not go into the backyard.
Yeah, he's been drilling it with that wind behind him now too, isn't he? Creechin just able to knock it solidly through the uprights, and he's been doing a great job this afternoon.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good leg, and as you mentioned, the wind also helping as well. That makes it 57-0 here for the Cougars. Junior varsity football action. Again, hosting the Hamilton Tigercats. Cougars going to improve to 2-0 on the season with this victory. Hamilton going to drop to 0-3.
And the Cougars teams trying to complete the trifecta with the third win to close out the weekend as well.
That's right. Earlier today, it was the Bantam squad that beat Oakville 47-19. And then yesterday, the Pee-wees in a defensive battle beat Oakville 6-0 with the only touchdown in that game. Kick this one off. Oh, surprised the Hamilton returner there picked it up. Looked like that ball might go out of bounds. Of course, that would be a flag on the kickoff. But he scoops it up, and decent return up to their 25-yard line. That's where Hamilton will take over this football.
Hamilton has the ball at their own 26-yard line.
To see what Hamilton can do here. They've had just a couple flashes of decent plays, but other than that, the defense for the Cougars has really been the story. Just as you mentioned, 57-0. Well, that nothing is because this defense has just been coming up so strong, able to hold this Hamilton team to only maybe a pair of first downs.
Oh, good pass and catch there. Looked like that was number 81 with the grab, Dante Medeiros.
That pulls it in for about eight yards, so that's one of the better passes they've had. The quarterback seems to be connecting with those receivers a little bit better now, whether it was communication or just finding his range earlier, but seems to be able to pin it on them a little better now.
Looked like that was Evan Torres in on the tackle, along with Tanner Horobeck. Oh, looked like they had him stopped even deeper in the backfield.
Tyler Martin
Still,
on
I
the
think,
carry.
don't know if he had any gain there. It looked like they had him for a loss
Jake Deneau
I think
on
it's-
that carry, Tyler Martin.
I think it was Cam Creechin, who number 51, who came in there and had the initial contact. As you mentioned, just was able to squirm his way away from that, try to wrap him up around his waist and just
Run for
fell right
Hamilton,
off of
up
him,
for
but slowed him
first
up
down.
enough so that one of his teammates
down
could
at
come in there and
136.
stop him.
So it was enough for a first down for Hamilton. We got 4 receivers over to this near side, and that's where they're going to throw it, and just slightly off target,
Eric
and
Clisco
with some pressure in there
on the
as well.
quarterback.
Perhaps making that throw go a little bit wide.
For number 22.
Eric
Brings up
Klustra
another
getting
second
into
down.
the backfield, big number 71.
You find in this game so far, even when the Cougars aren't necessarily making contact or haven't seen any sacks yet, but we've seen a couple tackles for losses, but really putting the pressure on that quarterback too.
This Cougars defense has just been absolutely dominant today. Good job there from
Number
Hamilton.
32.
Number 32 with the grab. Jack Mazur finds the hole in the defense there and settles down. The throws right on the money from Rexton Harper.
And the contact was almost instantaneous after that, though. 2 Cougars right on him, so again, just showing you that quickness of the defense, able to make that read, and even though the receiver was able to haul it in, they were able to knock him down right away.
Looked like that was Alexander Van Kesteren in on the tackle along with Cameron Creechin. Brings up a third down here for Hamilton. They're going to go for it. 3rd and about 4. And they're going to put it on the ground, and enough room there to rumble for the first down right up the middle.
Jordan Gallant, number 5
Jordan
for
Gallant
Hamilton
with
carry,
the
stopped by Lucas Doyle.
run up the gut. Able to pick up enough for the first down.
I think it's one of the first times we've seen him with the ball today, so let's see if he gets it again. I've seen that with number 34, who's just trotting off right now. Jesse King, once he found some success, they made sure to get him the ball again quickly.
Oh, good job there. Cameron Creechin comes through, goes low on the running back, and able to trip him up for it looks like just a slight loss.
It looked like he tried to hurdle him there, but as mentioned, Creechin just took his legs out on that play, knocked him right on his face after that.
Yeah, Dylan Bernardo tried to cut that back inside, and Creechin said, I don't think so. They're going to drop back to pass on that far side, and that pass is going to be a little too far outside and a little short of the intended receiver.
Yeah, it's difficult to make that throw on the run when you can't get your feet set, and I think that's what happened there. He just couldn't get himself set before he launched it off and ended up coming well short of the receiver. Looks like they're changing personnel, but in a game like this, you almost wonder if Hamilton's going to try to pull some trickery out here. We saw the Cougars earlier with that fake snap.
Yeah, the Cougars did line up the punt on one occasion and went with the direct snap to Ethan Kupka, I believe it was, who was able to rumble for the first down. Good snap, perfectly done and well executed. Good punt there as well. Wilcox slips through his hands, but able to pick it up right in front of him. Oh, and a big block there, and
Oh my God!
wow.
Patrick Wilcox on
Wow.
the return. There's a flag down.
There
About the 35.
you likely can hear the discontent from the fans. They're going to say that was a block from the back or from the side.
Yeah, I think it was Alexander Van Kesteren, number 3 there. He just destroyed number 20 on Hamilton, just knocked him right down. He had to catch his breath after that one too to get up, but that's when the penalty marker came down, so I wouldn't be surprised if the referees call something there.
Yeah, that's going to call that an illegal block for sure. Yeah, they call it a blindside block. Of course, that all comes from the concern with head injuries, and it's all about protecting the players. If you've got a player running across the field and somebody coming up to hit them from the side and they don't see it, it's a blindside hit, and
That 15-yard penalty does go against the Cougars.
it's all about protecting the players.
In some ways, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't see that hit coming, just based on the way he took that one. Fell down and needed a second to get up as well. He really got rocked.
So that brings an end to the third quarter. Of course, a much quicker quarter with that running clock. So just 15 minutes left in this football game. The junior varsity Chatham-Kent Cougars up big on the Hamilton Tigercats, 57-0 here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex.
Let's go, bud.
So the Cougars are going to start with this ball on their own 20-yard line. Oh, they've made a quarterback change, actually. They hand this one off. Now in at quarterback is Evan Torres, number 9.
Yeah, electing to hand it off that time, picking up a pretty decent gain on first down. Gives you some options here.
7 on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3.
And why not in the last quarter here, give somebody else, spread the ball around. Give some guys a chance to get some experience out there.
Yeah, it was Garrett Stonefish there. A nice run on first down. Picked up 7. Make it 2nd and 3 here. Again, Evan Torres in at quarterback for the first time. They're going to hand this one off. Look to bounce it outside, but then cut it back inside wisely. Saw there was contained there, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Well done.
Bounces it back inside. Mike Gagliano, number 92, on the stop.
Yeah, another nice run. You got the
Chatham-Kent has a first
second
down,
quarterback in
32.
here, and he's calling the plays and starting it off well with a couple of nice runs.
Yeah, it looked like that was Josh Chauvin on the carry. Again, Jonathan Cartier is the quarterback up to this point. They're going to run this one up the middle, and a big hole there before finally being gang tackled. Looks like that was it looked like that was Chauvin again.
Garrett Stonefish on the
I think you were right the first time. Yeah, I think it was 34 Stonefish.
34 Stonefish,
Yeah,
okay.
he got the carry there and was able to push it through until he was just wrapped up. Never really taken down, but his forward momentum just pushed him back. Those defenders able to keep him on his feet and block him back.
Second and a long 5 here. Torres lined up in the shotgun. 2 running backs, and they're going to pitch it outside. Stonefish again with the carry. He's going to be short.
Garrett Stonefish once again with the carry.
And that'll be a tough call here with that ball so close to the first down, and you're kicking into the wind.
Third down and 1 at their own
You also want to think
41.
about keeping that shutout on the board, though, too.
Yeah, I got to imagine that the Cougars will go for it here on this 3rd and short. They've just been so effective running the football. Just continue to do what they've been successful with.
Coming right to you, dude.
And they're gonna. There's the first down and more. Oh, fumble! The ball's on the ground, and Hamilton's got it.
Stonefish on the carry. Ball is loose.
Did have enough for the first down and more,
Hamilton did recover that loose football.
but that ball hits the turf, and Hamilton able to recover.
Yeah, just after they blasted through for the first down there, as you mentioned, Hamilton able to knock that ball loose. And it's the first time we've seen that happen this game.
The Chatham-Kent 48-yard line.
Knocks it out, falls on it and able to turn it around to just past midfield.
Yeah, it was a big hit on Garrett Stonefish. And just unable to hold on to it. It was number 34, and Hamilton gets that ball back. So that brings up 1st and 10 for Hamilton. They're going to go to the air on 1st down, and good pass and catch. And immediately there to make the tackle was Quentin Emmerich.
He just makes it look so routine. He takes the guy down, gets up, rolls off of it, and just stands right back up again, ready for the next play.
And you touched on it a little bit earlier. It's the Cougars' defense has been so good at the not allowing the receivers any yards after the catch. Those yak yards, they just have not allowed it. Any kind of a completion, the receiver's been tackled pretty much immediately. That time, that pass intended for Christian Bevilacqua, but the pass was behind him and falls incomplete.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of times where it was really close to interceptions as well with that coverage, that pass coverage from the Cougars. So they're either getting in front of their man and batting it down, or they're able to take him down as soon as he grabs it.
Go to the air here on 3rd down. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quentin Emmerich. Looked like that pass was just a little too far out in front of the receiver, and Quentin Emmerich just able to pull it in.
Yeah, he had eyes his last couple of plays. I think he was feeling it after the last tackle. He just, as I mentioned, took the guy down, rolled up off of it, and got up all ready for the next play. And this time we were talking about that close coverage. Well, this time finally rewarded for that and able to pick him off. And so a couple of quick turnovers. First, the Cougars offense drops the ball, and then their defense comes up big and gives them the ball back in their own territory.
So it's 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. After the interception by Quentin Emmerich. Evan Torres takes the snap, hands it off. To carry that time, Ethan Kupka, but nothing doing. Good penetration there from Hamilton.
It looked like a bit number 20 there for Hamilton. Walker Evans or Julian DeSanto, one of those two. Right in there to make the stop behind the line of scrimmage.
Boy, that's the first time we've seen that today. Hamilton getting good penetration and dropping the Cougars for about a 4 or 5 yard loss.
Unfortunately for Hamilton, it's not happening earlier in the game because by the time the first half was over, this Cougars team has already dominated the scoreboard.
2nd and 15 here for Chatham-Kent. Torres going to fake the handoff and go to the air. Oh, it's right in the hands of his intended receiver. Looks like it was Stonefish, but he was already thinking about running upfield, I think, before he actually had the completion made, and he dropped it.
Yeah, I think you're right. He didn't look like he had his eyes on the ball the whole time, and sometimes when it happens, you just lose your handle on it. You got to grab that ball, secure it first, then turn upfield, and just bobbled that one, and it fell down.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose your concentration because you see all that green grass in front of you and you're thinking to yourself, geez, I just want this ball to get here as fast as it can so I can get upfield. And a lot of times it just takes that momentary lapse of concentration and that ball hits the ground and certainly doesn't do any good. So that brings up a 3rd and 15 now.
That wind is really picking up right now too. You can see that flagpole, man, it is whipping that flag. So any kind of punt here you'd have to expect might be a little bit low and driven.
So the Cougars are lining up to kick this one away. Ooh, a high kick, and that's a pretty good kick too. Wow, really good kick for the Cougars there. Oh, good coverage on the return. Stonefish with the big tackle.
Yeah, he's making up for that. I think that drop pass, he really wanted to make up for that, so he ran up there and was the first man to make the hit.
Luca Marini, number 9 on that punt return.
But as you mentioned, that was a good kick, especially given how windy the conditions are out here.
Stopped by Garrett
That
Stone.
one was up in the air, not like I expected, a little bit more of a driven kick, but still got good distance on there.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised with the distance on that kick, given
Hamilton
the
has
windy
football at the
conditions.
Cougar 53-yard line.
And as you mentioned, Garrett Stonefish laying some wood there. Looked like he was looking for a little bit of redemption on that one.
Yeah. Hey, if you can take that negative, that negative energy and turn it into something positive like he did there, that's the best way to do it.
Hamilton takes over the football on the Cougar side of the football field, about the 52-yard line. And some room to run here is number 15 for Hamilton.
Hand off to Tyler Martin.
Tyler Martin with the carry there,
Forced out by Quentin Emmerich.
and forced out of bounds by Quentin Emmerich.
Yeah, some good blocking by the offensive line there from Hamilton, just able to push those initial defenders back so that he could find some room going out wide, stretching the field out wide instead of going up the middle, and he found some room out there for the first down.
Some of the guys store the water bottles in there.
Yeah, because the player got up and he was grabbing his tailbone and he kept looking. Oh,
They're going to test the middle of that Cougars defense here. And again with the carry is Tyler Martin.
Once again with the carry.
Initially looked like he had a little bit of room, but that disappeared quickly.
Yeah, one of those defenders just got a hand on him, was able to hold him up enough to allow one of those teammates to come in there and make the stop.
Chris Hahn also assisted on that stop. Gain of 3 brings up second down 7.
They're going to hand it off. They bring the receiver across the formation. Good job there
22 on the carry.
by Tanner Horlbeck,
Tanner
who gets
Hall.
upfield and makes the tackle in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, not only that tackle though, you can see that free hand coming around there too. It looked like he was trying to strip the ball out, just about got it out of him too.
Good job by number 52. Brings up a 3rd and long here. Hamilton's going to go for it, and they're going to hand it off. Looking to get outside, and he does break a tackle. Oh, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, and he's going to get to the end zone.
Down Tigercats.
Wow, what a run by Tyler Martin. Looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss initially,
Number 15, Tyler
but
Martin.
able to break a couple of tackles and then take it to the house.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I think one of the guys, if I'm not mistaken, number 71 it looked like for the Cougars. That's Eric Closter. Looked like he had that almost that first hand on him. But you mentioned he was able to break that initial contact and find some room along the outside. And once he got to that far side in front of his bench, he was able to really stretch it out. And once he got by those first couple defenders, he was on his way.
Also got a good block downfield from his receiver friend, and block actually took out 2 Cougar defenders and sprung Martin to the end zone. Low snap, able to get the kickoff, and they're going to say it's good.
Is good.
Yeah, that was close. The Cougars were almost in there diving in to try to block that one, and it was a low snap, but Hamilton really able to turn this thing around, just have one sort of bright spot for them late in this game.
One of those, eh? Oh, yeah.
So Hamilton finally able to get on the board with 3:33 to go and erase the shutout that the Cougars had for most of this football game. Still Chatham-Kent 57, Hamilton 7 here in junior varsity football action.
Yeah, Cougars did most of their work, I think, in the first half, really. That was when they were just really pushing for it, too. Even in the second quarter, when they had a solid lead after the first quarter, they didn't let up at all. They just kept pushing it on, and I think maybe so they could take a bit of a rest in the second half like they have been a little bit here. Not that it's really showing, though, because they're still playing tight defense, and even that was just a really good play by Hamilton, not necessarily a bad defensive breakdown by the Cougars.
Just have a momentary delay here. Cougars are a man short. And Hamilton's a man short, so that evens things out. And they're going to go with the short directional kick here into the open space. Cougars better jump on it. It's a live football. And able to pick it up was Nakoma Scott.
Yeah, that was
Nakoma Scott picks up
as
that
you mentioned, there
football.
was a live football and a key play there for him to pick that one up. It was right between his legs, and he's spinning around, but able to secure it in time for that contact because it looked like that defender was coming up on him and was going to try to strip it away from him. That would be a bad place to lose the ball.
Well, we're just going to reach the 3-minute warning here. Just hit the 3-minute mark left to go in this football game. And it has been all Cougars. Absolutely dominating performance here. Gonna keep it on the ground. A nice run here on first down. Joshua Chauvin on the carry. Chauvin has done a good job carrying that football today. He, along with some of the other Cougars that have handled the bulk of the load, Nakoma Scott, Darian Bassick-Haddon, and Ethan Kupka and Garrett Stonefish.
Yeah, exactly. And you just run through the number of guys who have touched the ball here today.
And Jonathan Cartier, who played quarterback but also had some carries as well.
Yeah, and I think he carried one in for a touchdown too on a short first and goal back there in the first quarter, I think it was. And yeah, whether they're airing it out or whether they're having it on the ground, it just seemed to find so much success in this game.
Pass complete to Bennett Schaefer.
Short completion there. Bennett Schaefer with the catch on the throw from Torres, but they're going to lose a couple yards on that one. Good tackling there from the Hamilton defense.
Even the special teams have been pretty solid. I'm thinking of some of those kicks that Cameron Creechin has. He's a force on defense, but he's also got that big, strong leg, and he can really move the ball downfield, which is going to be, key in some of these closer games that you're going to see down the season when you're going to be playing some of these tougher teams.
And speaking of special teams, Patrick Wilcox, to open this football game, had a big return that he nearly broke for a touchdown. Got them great field position to start things off. So certainly they've had bright spots in all aspects of this football game on all levels, and have really controlled it right from the kickoff. Less than a minute to play here now, and the Cougars lining up to punt this one away. Into the wind. High kick. You see the wind affect that ball. Official's going to blow that one dead right away. As soon as that ball got up into the wind, it just stopped dead like it hit a wall.
Yeah, it started coming back, I think, towards the kicker, actually. You could see it started going straight down and then even blew backwards and right into a big pile of players.
Does wreak havoc with that punt. The ball will be spotted at about the Chatham-Kent 43-yard line.
So it looks like we'll have one last play and then close things out here. See if Hamilton can put anything else on the board in this last play.
You gotta imagine they're gonna go in the air and try and air this one out, but no, they won't. They're gonna hand it off and swallowed up fittingly by this Cougars defense. Again, an absolutely dominant performance from this junior varsity squad. They improved their record to 2-0. The Hamilton Tigercats junior varsity squad falls to 0-3, and boy, on all levels, the Cougars absolutely dominated this game, Matt.
Well, you talk about the differential earlier, the point differential for Hamilton and how it didn't look so good. Well, let's talk about the Cougars so far. 99 points for and 14 against so far through 2 games, so they're looking very strong. And great showing here today, as you mentioned, dominant on defense and on offense, both guys. Guys are running it out and just quick defense coming across the line, a couple tackles for loss back there, and really just able to hold this Hamilton team coming all the way out here to Chatham and showing them this is their turf.
And boy, you want to talk about point differentials. The Cougars, this football game and their opening game of the season now on defense, have only allowed a total of 14 points, 1 touchdown in each game. So this Cougars defense, very impressive so far to start this season as ball. They win this one 57-7. Again, improve their record to 2-0. And a perfect weekend for the Chatham-Kent Cougars football organization. The Bantam team winning earlier today 47-19 over Oakville. And then yesterday, the Pee-wees, they defeat Oakville on a touchdown. Not able to convert that touchdown, but win 6-0. So again, perfect weekend for the Cougars organization. Again, the junior varsity squad here getting the victory over the Hamilton Tigercats 57-7. On behalf of my partner, Matt Weavering, Jeff Brooks, Coach Co on the camera, I'm Mike James. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy more Chatham-Kent Cougars football on TV Coach Co.